Wednesday, April 16th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today on the show, we'll cover some TikTok news with some data showing how much time users are spending on the app compared to other social media platforms. We'll also get into some Meta news. This week, the CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, has been testifying in an antitrust trial from the United States Federal Trade Commission. They're saying Meta has a monopoly in the social media space. We'll talk about what's happened so far in the trial, and then the author of No Filter, The Inside Story of Instagram, Sarah Friar, will stop by to share her insights on the trial and what we've learned over the past few days. Lastly, the YouTube team has some updates, including how to be part of the YouTube Creator Research Testing and Feedback team. And additionally, they'll have an update on the new Hype feature that they've been slowly rolling out in different countries. All of that and more on today's episode, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Let's start with the TikTok news. A new report from Guggenheim Partners and Apptopia found that American TikTok users spent, on average, 108 minutes per day on the TikTok app between January and March, which is 21 minutes more than the next closest app, YouTube. This report shows that TikTok is much stickier than other popular apps, including Facebook, where users spend 63 minutes per day on average, and Instagram, where users spend 48 minutes per day on average. So to zoom out and put this in context, the average TikTok user spends twice as much time on the app as the average Instagram user spends on that app. I'm not going to use this data to say that TikTok will not be banned, but it is definitely worth investigating since so many Americans are spending so much time per day on the app. I will link to the data in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself. Let's move on to the Meta news. The CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, has been testifying this week in the antitrust lawsuit filed by the Federal Trade Commission. The trial potentially could result in Meta breaking up. The FTC is accusing Meta of creating an illegal monopoly and stifling competition by purchasing Instagram in 2012 for $1 billion and WhatsApp in 2014 for $19 billion. The FTC's position is that Meta basically decided competition was too hard, and it would be easier to buy out rivals rather than to compete. Meta has denied these charges, pointing out two things. Number one, they've faced plenty of competition from TikTok, YouTube, iMessage, and other platforms. Second, the FTC allowed Facebook to purchase WhatsApp and Instagram back at that time. On the other side of the table, the FTC is arguing that YouTube and TikTok really aren't competitors to Meta's platforms because Facebook and Instagram are both more about connecting with family and friends, whereas YouTube and TikTok are about watching creators. As a result of the way the FTC is pointing this out, Facebook and Instagram users have to see more ads, and consumers have less privacy. The FTC is making the case that the consumers and users of these apps have less privacy, because if there was more competition, Meta wouldn't be able to get away with taking as much of our data as they do. I think both sides have valid points, but one thing that's important to remember is that when the FTC approved Facebook purchasing Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2014, the world looked very different. Things have changed dramatically over the past 13 years and 11 years, respectively. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find any audio of the trial to use, but there is available text of an email that Mark Zuckerberg sent to Facebook executives in 2018, where actually he suggested the, quote, extreme step of spinning Instagram out as a separate company, end quote. I'm saying that quote because that is literally what Mark Zuckerberg wrote. He also wrote that, quote, while most companies resist breakups, the corporate history is that most companies actually perform better after they've been split up. He continued, a non-trivial chance we will be forced to spin out Instagram and perhaps WhatsApp in the next 5 to 10 years, end quote. He warned the executive team that, quote, we should keep in mind that there is a real chance that all our work to build a family of apps may be something we don't get to keep. The quote continues, it's not too hard to imagine the calls increasing to break up the tech companies and the next Democratic president taking action to do so. He continues in the quote, at that point, we will face extremely high pressure, brand damage, and distraction, end quote. So clearly, Mark Zuckerberg has been thinking about the possibility of Meta being broken up for a while. The memo concludes, quote, I understand the business value of having Instagram and Facebook together, so I don't raise this lightly. I'm also not suggesting that this is the likely outcome, but I don't think it is quite as crazy as it may initially seem either." End quote. To give her take on this, here is Sarah Fryer, author of No Filter, The Inside Story of Instagram, and longtime friend of the show. Sarah's been nice enough to let me interview her twice about her Instagram book. Here's her talking about this latest news and the FTC trial.
This is a very critical moment for Mark Zuckerberg because what's on trial here is his strategy for building his companies. His ideas that were so praised, buying Instagram when he did, buying WhatsApp when he did, that the FTC alleges helped him create an illegal monopoly. Now, we haven't so far seen evidence of Meta as a monopoly or not. We haven't gotten there in the trial, but what we have seen is just how paranoid Zuckerberg has been over the course of building his company. There's so many emails that have come out that are just pretty epic. His internal emails, how bluntly he talks to his team about how they're falling behind on a product, how they should be very worried about Snapchat, they should be worried about Instagram, worried about TikTok, worried about WeChat, worried about WhatsApp. I mean, there are all of these competitors that come up that each and every time Zuckerberg sees as an existential threat. And it seems like he's like always looking over his shoulder, thinking who's going to be the one that ends us, and comes up with a strategy: buy them, copy their product, figure out what to do. So that is really coming through very clearly in this trial, and just personally so interesting to me to see all of the tension with Instagram get confirmed finally. I revealed a lot of this story in my book No Filter, which came out 5 years ago now, but to see it get unveiled in actual emails that Zuckerberg sent that I didn't have access to at the time is so interesting, just to see the pieces come together like that and validate what I wrote, but then also have some new aspects of the story be unearthed too, like the fact that in 2018, rather than wait for Meta to be broken up by Facebook at the time, rather than wait for Facebook to eventually be broken up by regulators, Zuckerberg actually considered spinning off Instagram into its own company. So it's a really interesting look inside not just this company, this dominant company, but Mark Zuckerberg's way of thinking about threats and how he approaches them.
I will link to Sarah's book in the show notes so you can check it out if you have not read it. I highly recommend it. And of course, whether Meta gets forced to spin off Instagram and WhatsApp or not, I will continue to keep you posted. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, the YouTube team is going to update us on the new hype feature they've been working on. And if you want to give feedback to the YouTube team on how to make the app better, they have a program for that. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Here's Laura from the YouTube team talking about the latest updates on the platform.
What's up, insiders? I'm Lauren, a program manager working on our product team here at YouTube and the producer of Creator Insider. So let's get into it. We posted about this last week, but many of you have expressed interest in participating in creator research. The team is currently looking for live streamers, podcasters, shorts creators, and shopping affiliate program members, especially those who speak English, Korean, Japanese, or Indonesian for upcoming studies. If that's you and you'd like to sign up to be considered, fill out the form in the description. Moving on. We're expanding our Hype limited beta to more creators in Taiwan, Brazil, and Turkey. As a reminder, creators in YPP with 500 to 500,000 subs, whose videos abide by community guidelines, will be eligible for the Hype limited beta. If you're a creator who has access, the option for viewers to Hype may automatically appear on eligible long-form videos for the first 7 days. No action required from you. When viewers Hype a video, they're helping it climb the ranks of a new leaderboard and potentially get noticed by a wider audience. We'll apply automatic bonus points for creators with less subscribers. As a reminder, viewers hyping or not hyping your videos will not impact your organic search ranking or YouTube's discovery algorithm. We also encourage creators to help spread the word by mentioning that viewers have the ability to hype in your videos or YouTube community posts. Lastly, we recently announced new mid-roll ad features to help creators optimize ad opportunities and prepare for some upcoming changes to our ad system in May. If you missed these updates, we'll leave more information in the description. As part of this announcement, we introduced a new feedback feature in YouTube Studio that shows which manual mid-roll ad slots are unlikely to serve ads. With this feedback, you'll have more information available to adjust mid-roll ad slots to places that have a higher likelihood of serving an ad. We also gave creators the ability to combine manual and automatic mid-roll ad slots on a single video. This gives our systems more choices to select the most appropriate ad slot, which increases ad opportunities on your videos. Starting in May, we'll be further tuning our ad serving models to shift more mid-roll ads to natural breakpoints to increase creator earnings potential and viewership. To help creators prepare for this improvement, we'll add automatic ad slots to existing videos that have manual mid-roll ad slots to increase mid-roll ad opportunities. You can opt out of this feature in the Earn tab in YouTube Studio before May 12th, 2025 if you want to individually adjust your manual mid-roll ad slots or prefer not to have automatic ad slots added to your existing videos. To make sure you best optimize for the improvements coming in May, double-check your highest performing videos and adjust mid-rolls as needed so they're more likely to serve. And that's it for this week. From the creators of YouTube to YouTube creators, we'll see you next week.
Okay, I'm going to link to what she discussed in the show notes so that you can check it out for yourself. That's it for the news portion of today's episode. On the next episode of this show, we're going to be doing something new called This Week in AI. I feel that social media and AI news is starting to come together in a way that it's important to acknowledge. And so we are going to be featuring every Friday on this show a segment called This Week in AI. Be sure to come back for that next time.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.